What is going on, everybody? It's your boy John, and welcome back to Gearbox. So today we are once again in the beautiful Mk5 A90 Supra on this gloomy ass South Carolina Friday. But nonetheless, we're driving, we're having a good time, and I am here to film another video for y'all today. Now, what I wanted to talk about in today's video is really the fact that as much as I've been driving this car lately and having enough time, I guess, to spend with it to really, I guess, figure out what the Mk5 Supra is all about, I'm here to tell you that this might be one of the greatest sports cars, at least new sports cars, on the market today. And there's a lot of reasons for it. So without further ado, let's go ahead, get right into it, and start talking about the Mk5 Supra. Now, I understand that some of y'all might be saying, John, quit the YouTube bullshit of, oh my God, this is the best car ever. It's so great and wonderful, blah, 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 blah. And I hear you, but guys, I really do mean it. And really to kind of start the whole video off is just the fact that, in my opinion, this car has the perfect balance of luxury, but also obviously the sports car capabilities, you know, the horsepower and the torque numbers, the drivability, the handling, all of that sort of stuff. I think that this car is just awesome, and I really haven't ever driven anything like it. There's a lot of reasons for it, and I guess just to start with the luxury aspect, let's go through that. So if you're not familiar with the Mk5 Supra, here's kind of the cockpit view. Hopefully y'all can get a good view of that. Pretty simple kind of gauge cluster here, but gets the job done. The steering wheel feels really nice, and honestly, it is a, I guess, common feeling for me, in the sense that my in-laws and my wife all drive BMWs, so this steering wheel just, I'm used to it, I'm comfortable with it, and nothing changes from the BMW 4 Series that my wife drives over to the Supra. And then you get over here into the infotainment and, you know, the gear shift and all of that sort of stuff. It's awesome. And to be honest, you know, a lot of people, this isn't the first time I've talked about it, and surely won't be the last, but a lot of people give the Supra kind of a bad, I don't know, Supra leaves a bad taste in their mouth, I guess, because it is a BMW. As much as we want to sit here and say, oh, this is JDM and this is a Toyota, I mean, it technically is, but it's technically not either. But all of this German engineering right here, this is all out of BMW, and I think it is awesome. You then couple that with the leather seats, you couple that with all of the creature comforts and the cameras and the sensors and all of that sort of stuff. Guys, it's pretty awesome. Now, I will say, some of the sensors and warnings and that type of stuff is a little bit overkill, and yes, I could turn it off if I wanted to, whether that be through the actual, you know, infotainment here or through the Beamer Code app, which I know I filmed a video on that. If you're not familiar, pause this video and go check that one out. That's pretty cool. But you can code out and really just customize in general a lot of things in the Supra to add to the luxury and the creature comforts that other cars just don't simply have. And for me, when I was making the upgrade from the 2019 WRX, I knew that I wanted something that was a little more refined, a little more, I don't know, bougie, for lack of a better term. And I think this car is great. Like, it fits what I was looking for. It's not too crazy. It's not a damn Maybach or, you know, a G-Wagon or something like that. But, you know, the technology and all of the other little doohickeys and shit allow you to comfortably enjoy the car, if that makes sense. So from the luxury side, that's it. And there's a lot of other exterior stuff and whatnot that we could talk about from that standpoint. But for me, it's really this driving position right here, you know, as you're sitting in the driver's seat. Everything is where you need it to be. It's very, you know, reminiscent of the Mk5 Supras, where it is a legitimate cockpit because it's a driver-focused car, and that is exactly how it is in the A90 Mk5. Now, that will be a perfect segue into the performance side of things, and so we'll go ahead and just jump right into it. From the performance side of the A90 Mk5 Supra, it is not a new, I guess, idea that this is a very, very good, well, however you want to say it, performing car. I mean, this thing just goes and goes and goes, and this inline six twin scroll, you know, turbocharger does not want to give up at any point in time. It's just that simple. It keeps going and going and going, and it makes this ride so much fun. Now, of course, any good car person or legitimate car dude is going to drive this thing in sport mode, and that is the way that it is supposed to be driven. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But one of the greatest things about this car, and this is really going to come into play, I guess, once I start doing some exhaust modifications and some other little things here or there that really, I guess, brighten the car up a little bit, is the fact that, one, you have the sport mode and not sport mode button to have fun when you want to, which should be 99% of the time. But in the 1% of the time where you want, you know, a quieter ride, or you want softer suspension so you're not getting the shit beat out of you, all of that type of stuff, you know, you can basically fine tune it with the push of a button here. And when you go into the infotainment settings, you can continue to customize it to your exact liking. If you want it in sport mode, but you don't want the stiff suspension for one reason or another, you can change that. If you want to go stiff suspension, but you don't want the valves open in sport mode, once again, don't know why you would want that, but you can change it. And with all of that being said, the performance and the luxury kind of go hand in hand. Because of the luxury aspect, you can really start to, I guess, make the car your own and have the driving experience that you want. It's not a one-size-fits-all like my WRX was. You hopped in that WRX, you turn the key over, and you're getting a loud exhaust, you're getting a shit ton of turbo noise, you're getting the blow-off valve, you're getting unbelievably stiff suspension, and that was just it. And you had to be in the right mindset to drive that car, because if you were going anywhere that you would not want any of those things, guess what? You just had to live with it. This car, on the other hand, you do not. It is completely up to your mood or how you want to drive it or whatever, to where you can genuinely just fine-tune this thing to no end and just get it that much better. And that is why I think that this car has to be one of the greatest new sports cars on the market today. And yeah, I understand this model, this exact model, is not new, right? It's a 2022, I get it. But the concept, the idea of the A90, of the A91 Supras, it's just different. And I feel like it's really hard to explain to people that have never driven one or been in one, because I was once in that boat as well. And I was like, yeah, the car's cool. Like, I like the idea. I like the Mk4 Supra, so why not like the Mk5? It's got the B58. It's got all this sort of stuff. But until you sit right here and you go boom, 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 you will never know. Like, you will just never know how good that feels. And let me tell you, it puts a smile on my face every single time. And so with that, I'm going to leave you there. If you have any other questions, or if there's anything maybe that I missed that would fall into the categories of luxury and the performance side of the A90 Mk5 Supra, drop them in the comment section down below. I absolutely adore this car, and I love to share this with anyone and everyone as long as they will listen to me. So if you're watching this video, thank you. And if you like this video, give it a big fat thumbs up. And as always, guys, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. You know the drill. And until next time, peace.
留在自己那张脏乱的床，手摆好姿态对我装上了。